Hello, how are you all out there? How's it going? Yes, all righty. I'm getting more and more used to streaming via Zoom. How's everybody doing out there? This is your goddess guru, Tyra Omi Lade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to your life purpose, living in alignment with your life purpose, living courageously, living confidently, who you have come here to be, do, have, all that kind of good stuff, so that you can live the life of happiness and success that you deserve. Y'all, come on, let's do this thing. And so it's all about, though, understanding that we are here to utilize the ancient wisdom and tools of our ancestors. You all know I'm all about the oracle. You all know that I'm all about, oh, that's my alert to tell my son to get off his phone. But anywho, it's all about remembering the tools that were used by our ancient ancestors that they put together, preserved, and channeled down to us so that we can use them in order to navigate these modern day waters. Y'all, come on, let's do this. So, one of the things that I wanted to get on and talk about this, well, it is the main thing I want to talk about this evening, is the waxing versus waning concept. A lot of us use this concept largely. Oh, let me see if anybody's on. I forgot. When I use Zoom, I have to look. Oh, hey, Monica. How are you? Good to see you, gorgeous. Um, one of the things I wanted to get on and talk about this evening, well, the thing I want to talk on, like I said, is waxing versus waning, and how a lot of us know that there is the waxing moon and there's the waning moon, right? So that is really good actually to understand. We have waxing, we have waning moon, but actually waxing and waning apply to more than just the moon. So waxing is where the energy is building. There's a new beginning, there's a fresh new start, and then there's this energy of building towards, or the energy is up, it's high, and it's high in a way where you can manifest some things, you can get something done, you have the energy to get it done, and it's leading to a full moon time, a full moon phase. Once we hit the full moon, which is where we may see something manifest, or we may reap something major. We may just really get to a point of understanding, because it's about manifesting, but it's also about achievement. And sometimes achievement is internal. You achieve a healing. You achieve moving past, you know, being mad at somebody for something. And so once we hit that full moon, then we go into what's called waning, or when we hit that it's like the full moon phase, then we go into the waning phase. And so the waning phase is where the energy is decreasing. It's lower. Our energy is decreasing, 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 or the energy of a thing is decreasing. It feels like the window of opportunity is closing, is how I look at it. And it's like that until we get to the new moon phase. And so the new moon phase is the place where something ends, but then something begins, right? And so I've noticed that the sun is higher earlier, and it just feels stronger. And I went out this evening to put out my recycle bin, and I noticed I could still see a little bit of light in the sky, and it was like easily 8:30 or something like that. I'm like, wow. It was mostly dark, but I could see in the sky, the part of the sky, the western sky where the sun sets, I could still see there was some sunlight. And I thought, I feel so in alignment with this waxing phase that we're in when it comes to the collective energy. So we have, spring, summer, winter, fall. And so we're headed towards the summer solstice. That is considered the full moon phase. That's how I look at it. It's like the full moon. I'll put it that way. Um, and so this is a really good time, even though for those of you who follow me in my inner circle, or you're part of the inner circle, I've been talking about, we have so many planets that are retrograde. It's actually a time to be reviewing, but it's a time to review, but we may not feel like, oh, I don't have any energy. We will feel like, let's get this review on. Let's go on ahead and stop. Let's look back. Let's go over some things. So I love, love, love that, because when you're in a waning phase, it's not time to be sitting around, chilling, none of that. It's time to be working. It's time to be getting some things done. Then we will hit that summer solstice. The energy will be high. We just think about the wildness of the summer solstice. I have to tell y'all a story. And it's really just a fun story to talk about how wild the summer solstice is. One summer solstice, I was at, wow, Monica said the sun went down after 9 p.m., 9:15 p.m. in Michigan. I thought I was crazy, Monica, but thank you for saying that, because I was like, is that still sunlight in the sky? It blew my mind, sis. It blew my mind. But I remember one summer solstice, my kids and I were out. They were younger, and I had bought them these Superman t-shirts. They were matching. And we went to some park with, these homeschool kids, and they played, and some kind of way took off the shirts, and maybe I put some different shirts on. I don't exactly know how this happened, but I could not find these shirts for anything. And I don't know why I didn't ask people, but I was convinced that I had not lost those shirts. They were in the car or something. I never could find the shirts. And I kept thinking, you know what? The shirts are going to show up. I'm going to find these shirts. And I'd be doggone. It was almost like a year to the date, the next summer solstice. Someone contacted me and was like, by the way, I've been meaning to tell you, I have your son's shirts. I'm like, what? The summer solstice is crazy. It's a wild and crazy time. It's super energetic, right? And after that, we go into a waning phase where we're feeling like and during the fall, a lot of times we're looking at all of the hard work we've been doing all year long. We may begin to actually see the actual rewards. Where you're collecting the harvest, you're reaping the benefits of all the hard work that you did in the previous cycles, if we're looking at the seasons. And then we go into the winter solstice. During the winter solstice, it's the longest night of the year. I call it being in the womb of darkness. We're in the womb of darkness, and we're expected to set New Year's intentions on January, and we just experienced the longest day of the year. No wonder so many of us feel like, I cannot ever get things done. People hate New Year's resolutions and all that kind of good stuff, right? And this is why I teach, especially in my workshop and in my inner circle, I teach the importance of, and the workshop is I taught a 2020 workshop this year to help people plan for the year. I teach, y'all, look, we set a plan out on January, in January 1st, around that time or whatever. We set the plan. And actually, starting in late November, early December is really like such a good time to be setting up intentions, because it's a time of inspiration. But let's just stick with my example. January 1, we set some intentions. We're like, okay, this is what I want to get done in this year. 2020 is going to be my best year ever. That's what a lot of people said. But the best thing to do is to sort of play around with it during that time, because then once we get to spring, that's when we'll start feeling inspired to take action. The energy is high. We're ready to go, right? So, using the concept of waxing and waning with the moon is important, but you can use it for other phases. Another example is waxing and phasing. Yes, you got me live, Paula. Hey, honey, how are you? Glad to see you here. All of the goddesses, the inner circle goddesses are here. So um, let's use the example that I've been talking about. For a lot of us right now, we feel charged up, we feel energized because of the sun. Well, for some people, let's say their birthday is in August, their sun is actually in a waning phase. They may not feel supercharged up. Well, that's some of that might be Leo. It might be Leo's if your birthday's at the beginning of August or the first part of August. And Leo's, when do Leo's not have energy? Leo's always got energy. But anywho, y'all, let's say you're a Leo sun, and so your birthday is coming. You're in a waning phase. A lot of times when people are in a waning phase, leading up to their birthday, they feel a little bit sad. They feel a little bit depressed. The sun is very energetic, and so we may feel low energy because of our sun, even though on the collective level, the energy is high. We may not feel that energy until our birthday in August. Once that happens, even though the world now is feeling like it's waning, you may feel charged up. You may feel full of life and you're ready to take life, by the horns and just go for it, right? Whereas people like me, my birthday's in March, I may be feeling slow and, just sluggish around the winter solstice. Someone whose birthday is in, say, October may be feeling full of life. So if we understand this concept of waxing and waning, and we know, am I in a waxing phase personally, or am I in a waning phase? It will better help us to understand, why do I feel supercharged up with everyone else during this time where the sun is out longer, is stronger, or why don't I? I'm not a failure. It's just I'm in a waning phase because, and I'm just using this as an example for people whose birthdays come after the summer solstice. They may need to accept they're in a time where they're thinking back, they're trying to figure out, what is it about my life that, this last year of life that I get everything done. And you might need to be revisiting your New Year's intentions. Hey, Azizi, welcome. You might be needing to review your intentions so that when your birthday comes in August, you're ready to start running with them a little bit more. Okay. So understanding, I look at this as a concept of know thyself, understanding who you are. We are vibrations and we have energetic blueprints within us. And when we are in alignment with that blueprint, when we know what's in that blueprint, where is my sun? Where is my Mars? Is my chart in a waxing phase? Is it in a waning phase? Then it will help us to better navigate, what is it that I should be doing in my life right now? Because we can all set intentions at the new year, but it may be that I will not start running on my intentions until a little bit later in the year based on what's going on in my chart. Or maybe if I know that there is something in my chart that is waning and it is the first day of spring, my energy of new beginnings will be all about, I cannot have a new beginning until I release something. It is something that I have literally had to get used to. I began to realize that there's something in my astrological chart that is actually about endings. And it made me stop stressing out about, for instance, not wanting to teach fitness all the time anymore. I feel like teaching fitness is now a hobby. I no longer want to teach fitness as a part of my career. And I have learned from one of my coaches that may change. I may come back to it, and I'm okay with that, you know. But I was struggling with it because it's so much a part of my identity. It's so much a part of what I've been known for. But it made me say, you know what? There's an aspect to my life that's about releasing, and there's a part of my life that's about new beginnings. And it's just about learning how to navigate that. Oh my gosh. Hello, Cassia. How are you? Glad you are here. So good to see y'all. Y'all look gorgeous. Um, so let me know, for those of y'all who are here, do you already work with the concept of waxing and waning outside of the moon phases? Now, it cannot be overstated that it's very important to live according to, oh, good. Live according to that, the waxing and waning phases of the moon. You will win with that alone. If you don't know anything about your chart, but you know if the moon is waxing and waning, you will win. The sun and the moon, they're called luminaries. They help us so much. They help us so much. I'm glad that you're doing so well. Okay, I'm so happy I came on and talked about this, Monica, because it's, yeah. I actually, in the inner circle, I'm going to be putting together uh, a class about the moon. I took a course recently, and I was like, I've got to let those of you in the inner circle know about these moon phases, because the phase of the moon that you were born at dictates quite a bit about your personality. I had no idea. This is why I learned from the best astrologers around. This particular astrologer is Victor. Okay, cool. I will definitely be letting you all know. First of all, I want you to be able to identify, and I'll talk about this in the class. Probably I will get this class out in June, because the next class I'm going to talk about is the upcoming eclipses. Y'all know I'm obsessing about the eclipses, and so I've got to let y'all know about the eclipses. But I will talk about the moon, these moon phases, and I can show you exactly how to figure out, just by looking at your chart, if you were born during waxing crescent, gibbous, first quarter, waning, new, full, all that kind of good stuff. And what it will tell you so much about why things happen the way that they happen. Okay. Let me see. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, cousin. My cousin is here, y'all. Oh, nice, Azizi. Azizi said she just finished her lunar prayers. I love that. Anyone else out there do lunar prayers? Okay. Yes, Cassia, I love that. She says, she talks about the concept of using your moon cycle. For some of us, you might call it your period, your menses, to navigate how you work with your energy. And actually, y'all, the new moon is not a charged moon. Please remember that, okay? We should not be taking action at the new moon. And I remember even learning from my guru that it is so wonderful if you can mince at the new moon. And I really can even see like the waning moon leading up to the new moon also. But if you think about it, when can a woman get pregnant? It's right after she has her period. And so that's around the new moon. It's not anything about you're out of alignment or anything like that. I sometimes minced at the new moon, but there were times when I was mincing at the full moon. It's all good. Let's see here. Yes, I will be talking about the eclipses. I just need to get through the SAI call, the spiritual initiate aspirant, spiritual SAI, spiritual aspirant initiation. So I did a Facebook Live, or maybe it was on this one now. I don't know, because I've done them back to back. I am a morning person, not a nighttime person. So the mind is not fully on right now. Spiritual aspirant initiation. It's an initiation that I'm leading right now. And we have a call tomorrow. So I need to get the eclipse class done. Probably I'll have it ready by Sunday. I just have to take deep breaths when I think about the eclipses. So yeah, I do want y'all to know that more than likely, well, I'll let y'all know if I'm going to open it up to the public. I don't know if I'm going to exactly sell the eclipse class to the public, but definitely if you're in the inner circle, you'll get the eclipse classes. I learned that the energies of the new moon can help us focus on with how we work with the full moon energies. It's true. It's true. It is really good to set intentions at that new moon. And it's, say, for instance, for those who have a birthday coming up, which I know Cassia does, you are in a waning phase. Once you get to your birthday, you're like at a new moon phase, but it's just with the sun. Your Mars, it takes 2 years for it to go through this cycle. Okay, everyone needs to understand where is their Mars, because the Mars is about your passion, and it's also about your energy. And so if your Mars is, let's say, for instance, right now Mars is in Pisces. If your Mars is in Pisces, you're getting ready to have what's called a Mars return, which means it's like at a new moon phase. Once that Mars, the transiting Mars, meets the Mars where it was in your chart, I'm using Pisces as an example, in Pisces, because that's where Mars is right now, then once it moves past it, you will then be in, or that person would be in, a waning phase with their Mars. It would take about a year for them to get to more of like a full moon phase, and then they would get to a waning phase with their Mars. So that's the concept I'm wanting everyone to understand. Even understanding that we have a waxing and waning phase to our day. But my waxing and waning is different from your waxing and waning. So the understanding the moon is, it will win you lots. But understanding personally for you, where are you? You know, and there's just so many levels of this. I won't even get super deep, with it, just because some people spend lots of money to learn these kinds of things, so because it could get so deep. Oh, all right. Geminis. Are you a Gemini? I think yes, Monica's a Gemini too. Okay. What's up, Geminis? Hey, y'all, I've known Cassia since her mom corrected me. She was like, no, you met Cassia when she was 2 months old. I've known Cassia since she was 2 months old. Her mom and I are best friends. She has the exact same birthday as my second son. Blows my mind. And she's very much a grown woman at this point. But yeah, Gemini's in the house. Happy birthday to all the Geminis out there. If you are oh, look at that. Y'all are close. If you are a Gemini rising, you too are maybe feeling like you're in a new phase. Okay. You're in a phase of newness. If you don't know if you're a Gemini rising or what your rising sign is, hey, y'all, I have an astrology course for newbies in my inner circle. So I teach about the different signs, understanding your energy using astrology class in my inner circle. I will be updating it. I realize now the longer you study astrology, the more you have to teach about it. So eventually I will update that course. So, oh, wow. June 10th rocks. All right. I love June 10th. I love June 10th. I'm going to give y'all my June 10th story. And then I'm going to get up off of here because I'm in a waning phase right now. Y'all, I'm ready to go to sleep. So the morning of June 10th, I woke up at midnight and I realized that I was in labor. And initially I was on the phone talking to my friends. Okay, Paula. Yes, you will be learning more. I was on the phone talking to one of my friends, like, girl, I'm in labor. I feel these contractions. I need to get my bag packed. This is my second baby. I'm the typical second, mom to, it ain't a first time mom move. All right. Once you have your first, you feel like an old pro. All right. So I had to pack my bag and everything. I'm like, ooh, okay, today is the day. These contractions are really hitting. And girl, I got to get off this phone and focus. So I wake my husband up about 2 hours in, and I'm like, I'm in labor. So I just need you to, be awake because I'm feeling like like I need somebody to be up with me. Right. So about 2 hours passed by, and yeah, I was like, it's time to go. It's time to go. We had to go about 45 minutes away because I wanted to have my baby at a birth center with a midwife. Well, we call over my father-in-law, and he comes to pick up my older son. And while my husband is outside, helping him get into the car with my father-in-law, I had this huge contraction. This is the most painful contraction I've ever had between the two. And between the two, labors that I went through. And so I'm yelling because this thing is like intense. It's like every muscle is, oh my gosh. And so my husband comes in and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so painful. Oh my gosh. And he's like, and so then next thing I know, I have this, he's rubbing my back. He's like trying to help me out and everything. He's rubbing my back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the second one came in. It was more powerful than the first. It's so strong. And I'm like yelling. I've never yelled. I did not yell with the first one. I yelled because it's like so painful. And as soon as that contraction ended, I was like, I feel the urge to push. I was like, oh my gosh. I told my husband, I feel the urge to push. He was like, what do you want me to do? And I said, just don't be scared. He was like, I'm not scared. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel the ring of fire. I pushed, and then I pushed one more time, and then poof, my son pops out. So I had my second baby unassisted on the side of my bathtub, June 10th. That's what I did, 2003. Yes. So it was just me and my husband. He was listed, or he is listed as the birth attendant on my son's birth certificate. Such a neat story about June the 10th. Let me tell you about Geminis. They move fast. They move very fast. That labor was 4 hours and I did 3 pushes. Yes, that is what happened to me. And so, yeah, that's my Gemini story. It's a little, yes, Cassia. Yes, that's how I had your twin. Yes, very, very fast. Very, very, very quick and dirty is what I call it. Quick and dirty. So, yeah, Gemini season is special to me. June 10th is special. And yeah, it's even a little bit more from that, but I'll share that in a different video. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So thank y'all for being on here with me this evening. I've had such a good time. And I will be back on Friday for the Gemini New Moon. Speaking of new moon phases. But y'all, look, if you're in my inner circle, you might already know, or if you took my Venus masterclass, you might already know, Venus retrograde masterclass, you might already know. Why is this Gemini new moon so important? Why am I saying it's so important? Thank y'all. Do y'all know why? I just want to see, is anyone already remembering? Why am I going on and on and on about Gemini? This Gemini new moon in particular, and Venus retrograding in Gemini. Does anyone remember what I've been talking about in the inner circle? Let me see if somebody's going to type something up. Because there's a reason oh my gosh, y'all. Ever since I've learned astrology, it's like I can just see so much. I can see so much. And one of the ways I've gotten sold on astrology is I test it. I test it in my own life and I watch what's going on with other people. Sometimes I can watch what's going on with other people and I sort of know, just based on what they're talking about. And I'm like, hey, can I look at your chart? And sure enough, Gemini, Venus is in Gemini right now. So this Venus retrograde is within the Geminian energy. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. That's why Geminis have this quick mind. Actually, Virgo too. Okay, so everybody, I want you to come back on Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. And we're going to talk about why is this new moon in Gemini one of the most important, if not the most important new moon of this year. Yes, Virgos and Geminis, some of my most favorite people. So fun, so fun. Virgos help keep a sister straight. Geminis help keep a sister laughing. So what can I say? Oh, by the way, one of my sons is a Gemini and one is a Virgo. Lord, what am I going to do? All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining me. So glad to be here with you all so much. Please like the video, share the video. This is your goddess guru, Tyra Omilade. Hey, y'all, remember, it's all about us getting in alignment with our life purpose. We want to live our life purpose with confidence and courage because we deserve to have that happiness and that success that we all want. So y'all have been so much fun this evening. If you need a reading, please go to my website, goddessbodymindspirit.com. You can always request a reading if you're wanting to get more clarity, perhaps on, are you waxing? Are you waning right now in your chart? And I have an inner circle. It's very affordable. And I've started realizing folks spending 15, 20 hours, maybe not that much, but spending a lot of time jumping from one YouTube video to the next, one Facebook, one Instagram post to the next, trying to figure out what's going on. When all you got to do is come to my inner circle. I'm going to let you know what's up. All right. These readings on fleek in my inner circle. I'm letting you know all the deets for the month and week by week. All right. So yes. Thank you, Azizi. Yes. Yes. How do you get a chart? Paula, if you want to just get a copy of your chart, I think I sent you one. I can send you a copy of your chart because I have your details. I'll make sure I send that to you. So anywho, I will see all of you all soon. Remember, this Friday, I will be here at 10 a.m. Central Time. And we're going to talk about this Gemini new moon. All right. Love y'all. Take care. And yeah, see you soon. Peace.